Nessun, Korma, and all that other Latin opera stuff that we just heard on Scandal Season 5, Episode
Oh
15,
boy.
I See You. This is Season 4, Episode 15 of the Scandalous Scandal Recap. I am Larry Brown Jr., so excited to be here with you tonight. Pardon my scruff and my beard. I got some bad news from my barber tonight. I'm supposed to see him tomorrow morning at 8:30, but somebody bumped me. I'll talk about that offline. You can hit me up, slide in my DMs. I'll tell you what happened. I'm joined by my friend Janiyah Wright. Janiyah, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing very well, LBJ. Oh my gosh. First of all, on behalf of all viewers, your beard, we love it. We love
Oh,
it.
thank you.
We love it when you're Scruffy McScruffer said. We love it so much. LBJ, tonight's episode it was really good. It was jam-packed with goodies.
It was jam-packed. You say goodies, I say it was jam-packed with solid story. And I guess that would be a goodie.
Well
Let's
said.
go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to take my glasses off because I have a reflection.
Uh-oh.
And I am going to my
Put them back on. Put them back on, LBJ.
I figured I'd give you guys a squint tonight.
LBJ, we can't deal with all that squinting, number one. Number two, you can't see the buttons. Put the glasses back on.
I can see. Look, I saw the button to switch over to you. I'm good. Like,
okay, all right.
If I go like this to read the Q&A, just know that I have my glasses on and no contacts. So that's what we're working with tonight.
All right.
Have to bear with me. Hey, folks, if you're watching this live, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We know that How to Get Away with Murder, the season finale, is on right now. And our viewership is going to pick back up right after the finale goes off tonight. But we also know that you can leave a comment if you're watching afterwards in the YouTube video comments, or you can shoot us a tweet, slide in our DMs, chat us on GChat. However you all know how to reach out with us, you can do it. Our handle is at the bottom. I'm the same name on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Janiyah is the same on, well, her Lower Thursday isn't up tonight right now. What happened tonight? You got caught up?
You know. I'm working on it, LBJ. I'm working on it.
It's all good. While you're working on that, let's jump into tonight's episode. Oh, listen, if you're watching live, also make sure you use the hashtag Scandal Recap on Twitter, or you can chat live with us in the Q&A right now. Use the applause button, the thumbs up, thumbs down button on Twitter, or the Google Hangout that we're in right now. So tonight was called I See You, and it had so many different meanings, and I loved the fact that it had those meanings tonight. I think we had various storylines that we can focus on tonight, and the storylines include that of Huck and his family, Olivia and Jake. We also saw we saw Gabby Abby Red and her Gabby Abby Redness. Also, there was a little there, and those all those storylines had touch points with Fitz, with Susan Ross, with David Rosen, with Lizzie Bear DeGeneres. We saw all these different touch points with Marcus Walker. We saw all these different touch points tonight. But to me, those were the standouts of tonight's episode as it relates to I See You. How about you, Janiyah?
LBJ, you're right. You know, when you look at the name of one of these Scandal episodes, the entire show, you're waiting for a reference to that specific phrase or some kind of moment that's going to draw the line for you. And I had the exact same experience, LBJ, of having so many moments that I thought related to the name of the episode. And I want to tell you, there's a particular storyline that I would love to start with, LBJ.
I hope it's the one that I omitted from my list. What's the storyline that you'd like to start with, Janiyah?
What were you thinking, LBJ?
I purposely omitted one storyline tonight from my list to see if you would be woman enough to bring said storyline up. Is that the storyline that you'd like to bring up, Janiyah? We are in season 5 of this show, and season 5 of you hating on said character, or particularly said character. Do you have anything you want to talk about tonight, Janiyah?
LBJ, just go there. Okay, just go there, LBJ. Do it.
Let me tell you, for the entire time that we've been doing the Scandal Recap, we have been dealing with one character that I have loved from season 1, episode 1, and that character is Quinn Perkins. Quinn Robin Lindsay Perkins. Get ready for it. Get ready for the sound effects.
LBJ, I'm so sorry. I cannot stand Quinn. Anyway, go ahead. Get it out the way. Get it out the way.
Wait.
She's just
Oh,
the
so good.
worst. Ugh.
She's not the worst, Janaya. I
Uh,
see you. I see you hating. I see you hating. You hating. Let me tell you. Tonight, Olivia Pope
okay.
redeemed all that I've been saying about Quinn this entire season. And the season 4 and season 3 and season
All
2
right.
and season 1.
All
And
right.
she thanked Quinn tonight for all of her work. Quinn and tonight on the show, Quinn and Olivia had a moment on the side of the road to Neverland while they were going to look for a Huck and the alleged Six Toes. And they're on the hunt for a Huck and alleged Six Toes, trying to go save this man's life and pull Huck's inner B613 Dark Man back into his body because he's having an outer body experience trying to take this man out that he thinks
That's
is going to
right.
kill his family, right? While they're going there, Quinn has this whole moment with Olivia, with Marcus Walker present, and she's like, "You've not been present, Olivia. What you don't realize that something's been going on, and that something's been going that's been going on is you. You are not present. You're absent. You're not paying attention. And I've been holding OPA together for the longest, and you've not given me credit for that. Do you know what's wrong? Do you know what's going on?" Olivia and Quinn start going back and forth and back and forth. Marcus is like, "Yo, what's going on? What? What? You did what? She did what? Who did what? Harrison? Who? Who's Harrison? Who are these people?" She's like, we were, and Olivia's like trying to tell tell Quinn, look, Quinn, treat Marcus as family. Tell him everything. We are a family at OPA. We're a family. We're not a family. We haven't been a family since Abby, me, Huck, and Harrison. We haven't been a family since those people were there. And he's like, whoa, wait, what's going on? And all the stuff starts coming out. And so Quinn is like, look, I'm going to put all the cards in there, but I've been holding you together, boo. And Quinn and Olivia's just like, okay, but I've still been doing my thing, but okay, whatever. They go back. It was a great, great, great exchange. And then it was all signed, sealed, and delivered when the end of the episode, Olivia walks into OPA and she says to Quinn, "You were right. Thank you for holding it together. You were the glue. You were the one holding it all together." And Quinn's at the laptop like, because she needed that. Like she told me that she said from the moment that I signed on to do this, episode 1, season 1, right? I just said that. She said, "I longed to work with you and I've admired you as a woman, all that you had to do." I love that scene. I had to start with that because my spirit was just bubbling over with joy tonight, Janai, because I thought of you and I knew that all would be well. We thank God for Quinn, Robin, Lindsay. Don't we? Give him a hand of praise. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, LBJ, are you finished?
I'm done.
On behalf of the whole world, we hope
Yep.
you are. Because we're tired of Quinn. Listen, everybody is happy that she's around, okay, to hold things down. But you know who else could do exactly what Quinn is doing? A hired temporary secretary. Okay? You get them at the temp agency. It's a very low hourly rate. Okay? They come in and they manage the office. All right? That's all Quinn's been doing, you know? And okay, LBJ, you were right. You were right. All right. So all this time, you know, Olivia really truly has not been paying attention to the business. She hasn't. She had a series of personal turmoils, which she referenced this evening, including the kidnapping that happened.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
She had a series of personal turmoils, realizing, you know, she had over multiple seasons these battles with her parents, you know, all of these various things that were happening in her personal life. She's in love with Fit. She's in love with Jay. She's in love with Fit. She's in love with Jay. And all the while, the business has had to continue. And it has been Quinn. When the other gladiators started to, you know, abandon ship, Harrison died off, you know, as all the other gladiators started to leave, Quinn has been absolutely the person who's been there holding it down. And I will give her that credit, LBJ, because I do give credit where credit is due. Now, that does not mean she is not the absolute worst. I just don't appreciate her character. I feel like she's like a hangers-on person. You know? Anyway, sound effects are out of control this evening, clearly. Already 2 seconds into the show. Anyway, but LBJ, you're right. It was a really profound moment. And I would say this is the very first time in all the seasons of this show that we have seen Olivia acknowledge someone else's leadership in OPA. So it was an epic moment, not only in the evolution of that relationship, but it was an epic moment for Olivia in terms of her growing up, being adult, and really accepting the reality, which is that, you know what, Olivia, you're not an island. You try to walk these streets, okay, like you're all alone. Nobody knows what you're going through. There are lots of people that have your back, girlfriend. And so I did feel like there was also something in that reckoning that was about Olivia coming to terms with herself. So I'm happy we started there, LBJ. That was a good place to start.
It was. I think it was also fair to start there because it's something that's been stringing along the entire life of the show. It was Iodine Matrix. Actually, Janiyah says in the Q&A, we do love Quinn.
Yeah.
Janiyah with Quinn. Hello.
We have talked about this Iodine Matrix.
Week after week, we talk about Quinn. We talk about Quinn all of the time. Iodine Matrix also. Oh wait, someone else said something as well. Oh gosh, I lost it. Anyway, folks are hanging out in the Q&A, they're talking, they're chatting. Keep talking, chatting. We'll bring it up and we will talk about it. Yolanda Baker, Iodine Matrix. We see you, Kimmy J. We haven't seen you in a while. Hey Kimmy, how you doing? So let's turn now to. Let me just say this also with the whole Quinn Olivia situation going on. Let me just add to that. I thought my glasses were supposed to be off. I was cheating behind the scenes and reading. So let me just say that I loved Marcus's reactions to all of what was going on between Quinn and Olivia because he was just like, what, the whole time without saying the what. And it was really, you really saw the what when he said to Quinn, he said, so Quinn, he said, so what is this with Olivia, whatever? She's like, well, her mom was a terrorist, her dad killed this president's son, and this person got killed, and this another happened. Huck killed this person. He's like, what? She's like, is there anything else that you want to know? And he says, have you killed anyone, Quinn? She's like,
that's enough
questions for today. That's what I'm sharing for today. I was like, oh, shoot.
Right.
It's going to get really, really good when as Marcus begins to do that deep dive into all of the darkness that exists in OPA. Well,
LBJ, wait, before you segue on the deep dive point, there's another very important moment that we can't forget in that whole Quinn and Olivia exchange.
Go for it.
Olivia, after Quinn has completely called her to the carpet, okay, given her the 1, 2, 3, 4, and just said, Olivia, own it. You have not been present as our leader. Where you been, girlfriend? Okay, when Olivia finally owns it, the word that she uses to describe her behavior, LBJ, did you catch it? She said selfish.
Yes.
Right? So it wasn't.
It was right. It was okay for me to be selfish because I was kidnapped for a week of my life, and I gave up the freedom. I gave up my rights.
I was sold on the auction block. LBJ. He was giving it to her, gave her
She did. She did.
Face.
She was earning that image award. She was earning that NAACP image award tonight.
Yes, she was getting my trophy. LBJ, she called herself selfish. And I think that was really important because we have watched Olivia experience all of this as if it was just happening to her and that she wasn't making the choices that were perpetuating some of this. And I really feel like she took some ownership of that tonight.
Yeah.
So the fact that she used the word selfish, I think that's an important note that we have to get into the recap.
But let's talk. Speaking of selfishness, though, there was a bit of selfishness going on in the episode aside from Olivia Pope, Janiyah, and that happened to be with her OPA line sister, if you will, and that OPA line sister was the one she was doing that sisterhood with, and that's Gabby Abby Red. Tonight, Gabby Abby Red took a leap of faith.
Gabby, let me find out, Gabby.
Like she needs a round of applause too. Like Gabby Abby Red definitely. Yeah, there it is. There it is. One more time. Oh yeah, there it is. Give it up for Gabby Abby Red for stepping in, and raising the flag, and shutting Cyrus Bean down and stepping in these last few months of this Grant presidency. Janiyah, take it away with your thoughts of Gabby Abby Red and all of the things that she did, the people that she had touch points with.
LBJ, this is, first of all, you know, I've been no fan of Quinn. We've talked about that.
We moved on. You shouldn't say
moved on.
The fact that you keep saying her name is a win for me. Okay?
I have also had very mixed emotions about Gabby Abby Red over the years. There are moments where I want her to disappear from my life and I never want to see her again. And I just wish her away. Like I blow on a candle, like I wish Gabby Abby Red would leave. But then she's there again. And so, it's been back and forth. But tonight we watched her do a couple of things. Number one, we watched her do something that Olivia told her not to do, right? Gabby Abby stood independently and said, I am not going to take Olivia's advice. We'll talk about that advice in a minute. The other thing she did tonight, LBJ, was that she officially stepped over to the dark side. Now, while she was working with OPA, of course she did some questionable things. That's the nature of the game. You can't hate the player. But LBJ, she was always doing it in service to Olivia.
Yes.
Tonight, she stepped into the dark side for herself and for her own interest. And it was perfectly and completely, LBJ, the Gabby Abby Red that is a character to me that can be sustained and can have ongoing meaning in the show. So let's back up and give the context. So what happened in tonight's episode that we got to see Gabby Abby Red's spine? Well, it's because Cyrus, as we discovered in the last few episodes, has been working on, and actually Gabby gave us a term tonight, king making with Senator Vargas.
I love that term, by the way. That whole king making.
So good.
I need to use that term. I'm adopting it like I adopt things from Rowan Pope. Keep going.
Here we find Cyrus king making, okay, Vargas, all right? He has plucked Vargas from obscurity, made him a national hero, okay? And then he's planted all of these seeds in his head that have this man ready to go take over not only the White House, but the world. He's like getting this man all pumped up, okay? And he's also been manipulating. Cyrus has been manipulating the White House to ensure that whatever Fitz is doing as current president and whatever Susan Ross is doing as candidate is actually moving Vargas forward. And what happens, LBJ? Gabby Abby Red, she gets hip to the game. What happens as she gets hip to the game, LBJ? She starts to, question some of what Cyrus is doing, some of the way that Cyrus is participating. And so she ends up investigating him. Who does she enlist for this investigation? David. David goes and does some digging. Turns out Cyrus, as Gabby Abby suspected, is in cahoots with Vargas. Once she has this information, she doesn't know what to do. She goes to who? Olivia. And she says, Olivia, I have found out that Cyrus is not keeping his oath to the president. He's out there in these streets about to go put together a campaign, king making, okay, for a candidate that's not even a Republican. He's literally, she also called him LBJ, she called him a turncoat during the course of this episode. So Gabby goes to Olivia, what do I do with this information? And Olivia's like, why do you care as much as you do? Come to find out, Gabby Abby Red standing there with her spine, LBJ, and she says, I want to be chief of staff, right? He wants to be right-hand man to the president of the United States of America. Who is it?
Hi, I'm Gabby Abby Red, and I'm here to ring the door. I ring the doorbell to blow the whistle. Did you hear the whistle? I just blew the whistle.
Please blow it again.
She blew the whistle. Gabby Abby Red blew the whistle, Janiyah. Keep going. That was a great way. It was a different way to blow the whistle, but she blew it. It was good.
LBJ, she said to Olivia, hear ye. Okay, give us that whistle one more time, LBJ. Hear ye.
Stand by. Hold on. There it is. You hear it. Wait.
Hear ye. I want to be chief of staff. Right? That whistle is the worst.
There it is again. It's not a button. I won't even tell you how to pull up that whistle. Keep going. It won't stop. Go.
So she gets this in her head. Listen, it's my turn. There's so many big old nasty dogs on the hill. It's my turn to be a big old nasty dog. And then Olivia says to her, girlfriend, you're high, honey. You're high off the fumes of the White House. You're sitting up there so close to all that power, and it's driving you crazy. And then Gabby Abby Red says, well, maybe I am crazy, but girlfriend, that's what I want. And Olivia, and I'm paraphrasing, Olivia said, listen, don't do it. Flee. You're a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Once the white hat is off,
yes,
you can never reclaim it. And that was huge, LBJ.
It
that
was huge. Yolanda Baker brings up a great point too. And I want to pose this question to you. What has happened to our gladiator, Gabby Abby Red? Olivia told her, but she wanted the power. Remember, she spoke to her about power. She said, this is because you're very close to the Oval and you see how much power exists there and you want that power of the Oval. The question is, do you think that she can handle this new role as the chief of staff?
LBJ, what do you know? I want to hear what people in the chat think too. You know, I'll say this: Gabby Abby Red, she made her conclusion, and then she went about making it happen. She told Fitz about Cyrus. She said Cyrus is out here on these streets campaigning for Vargas and again king making, and she says get rid of him and make me your right hand man. And Fitz says, oh, you want to be my right hand man? Well, your first job is to go over there and fire Cyrus. That to me was the test.
I agree. That was the test. That was like, okay, you want to be in the game? You're going to be set tripping up here with us. You want to be set tripping? You want to be crip walking? You want to do all of that? You want to be straight out of Compton? Then here's where you start. Go over there and murk him. Go take him out. Go take her out. Go shank that person. That's what she did. She shanked him in the political spirit. She walked into that office and she said, she walked in that office.
What did she do?
She shanked him in the political spirit. She walked in there and she walked into the office. She had that awkward pause. And if you've ever had any kind of difficult conversation with somebody before, to let them go, or if you've ever been let go before, I've been on both sides. I've been let go and I've been the person to let somebody go. Let me tell you, that is an awkward pause, okay? And you walk in there and there's that awkward pause and you're like you don't even want to say anything. It's like, okay, 3, 2, 1. You have to leave. Like you gotta say it. You just gotta say it and get it out. And she says, he's like, oh, Gabby. What'd you say?
He said, I need your badge.
Yeah. But before she said that, he's like, oh, Gabby Abby Red, it's just all coming together. Oh, Gabby Abby Red, Gabby Abby Red, Gabby Abby Red, Gabby Abby. And she's like, I need your badge. You have 15 minutes to transfer your personal contacts to your personal cell phone. And then the Secret Service will be in here in 15 minutes to collect your mobile phone and your tablet and everything. And they will be here to escort you out. He's like, you told her. You told him. You told him, didn't you? You told him. And she says, I bought you 15 minutes. They wanted to come in here now and take everything and take you out. But I bought you 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes left. And that was it. Thus opens up the dark side to someone who's been exposed to the darkness, but has never really delved into the darkness.
Yeah.
So it remains I'm looking forward to see what she's going to do and how hard she's going to go in the paint with this, because Cyrus knows a lot. And now with him outside of the White House, it changes the game. So Cyrus can get grimy, but he does not have the same protections as he had before. Because remember, Cyrus was not Rowan Pope with all of this. Like, Cyrus has power, but Cyrus is not in command.
Yes. And LBJ, Yolanda Baker in the chat says, it was almost like a scene from Lord of the Rings when Gabby Abby was talking to Olivia about the power.
Right. Yeah, like you want to see something glow. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it sure was. LBJ, it was exactly like that. But to your point, she wants the power. Can she handle it? Once we don't have Cyrus here in the White House, what will happen to the power that's going to leave the building with him? Only time will tell. By the end of the episode, LBJ, just to wrap up this storyline, by the end of the episode, Cyrus is out somewhere on the streets drinking alcohol, and Gabby Abby is in the White House having a sip of scotch with the president and the vice president of the United States of America.
It was so crazy to see all of that take place tonight, because I was on pins and he was like, what's going to happen in the episodes to come? Oh, wait, what is this?
What's happening?
Oh, what's happening? I think I've been given the power. I think I have the oh what I have the power. Look at I have the
The
power.
worst. I mean, your power is as whack as that whistle. Okay? Some of these effects must have been made by Quinn because they are the worst. Anyway,
I was really trying to find something that made me glow like the power. Like I could touch the screen and like this would glow right here. That's the best I could do. Sorry.
you should use your cell phone, LBJ.
Right.
That would have been good. See, we got
Right.
to coordinate.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Wait, something like this probably would have worked if I did it like this. Wait, if I was like this.
Yeah.
Look, I have the power. This is the power. I have the power. I've got the power.
Oh God.
It's terrible. That's even worse. Go ahead.
It's getting worse, LBJ.
It is.
I have to say, on the topic of the worst, the only thing that is worse than the effects that you were just using was who tonight? Hollis. Hollis, LBJ. Can we please talk about Hollis Doyle?
Welcome back. You mean Donald Trump? I mean Hollis Doyle, who's running the billionaire running for president now. He's invested in the future of America with the little black kisses left and right. What is the? Let me tell you this: if the person that wants to make America great again had a black child left and right of him, I think I would probably have to get in these streets and turn the tables over and make some kind of rah-rah noise. Seriously, no campaign needed, no nothing.
LBJ, it was so bad. I cannot wait to hear what people in the chat have to say about Hollis Doyle tonight. So, guys, let's just remind ourselves about who Hollis Doyle is. Hollis Doyle is a gentleman that was in cahoots with everything that happened with what? The big D, defiance.
Yes, okay? Defiance.
He was there, LBJ, and definitely, putting money in the purse that helped to fix the election that ensured that Fitz was elected to his first campaign. So tonight we see Hollis Doyle walking the streets of Capitol Hill trying to find out who's his next president. Okay? First we see him talking to, our favorite person, Mellie. He's talking to Mellie and trying to get Mellie to be in his, he actually said to her, LBJ, he said, I have money. He said, I have the kind of money that wins elections. And I thought that was once again, LBJ dropped the mic. That was Shonda using her platform yet again. Okay. He said, I have the kind of money that wins elections. He was making a statement there, LBJ, about what actually makes this world go around, politically speaking.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
He said, I have the kind of money that wins elections. He's offering it up to Mellie. And he's saying, all you have to do is help me manage the EPA in the way that I want you to manage it. And Mellie hesitates. She hesitates because Olivia has already advised her, Hollis is the devil, stay away. Hollis says, oh, you're hesitating? Well, that's fine. I'm going to go check in with Susan Ross. He goes over to Susan B. Muppet Ross, and he's trying to talk with her, and, Fitz is there, and he's doing his little spiel. I just want you in my pocket. Help me manage the EPA. Susan Ross is actually kind of feeling Hollis Doyle. She appreciates his point of view in a sincere way. She was kind of on the same page.
And imagine that, though. How many times have we ever seen anyone sit in any conversation with Susan Ross and have some kind of concurring opinion?
It does not happen.
Ever happened. I loved that moment. It was just like, wow, Susan Ross has synergy with someone. Shout out to all the synergy in the room. And then Fitz came in and was like, Black Cow, shut it down. Game over.
Yes. He shut it down big time, LBJ. And Susan Ross later in the episode called it a pissing match. Because that's really what it was. Here goes Fitz once again. He wants to be somebody's hero, okay? Susan Ross had called him out in the last episode and called him out about his virtue and kind of said, listen, I believe in you. I believe in you when you're being virtuous. And he said, you know what? I'm going to be a virtuous person for you, Susan Ross. And so tonight, here he is trying to be virtuous. But guess what, Fitz? You're working too hard. Mm-hmm. And he ends up sabotaging a potential good thing. He sabotages the relationship between Hollis Doyle, Mr. Moneybags, Trump, and Susan Ross. So the next time we see Hollis Doyle, he's once again back at Mellie. And he says to Mellie, you know what? your ex-husband and Susan Ross, they're not picking up what I'm dropping. Can you pick up what I'm dropping? And LBJ, she starts to tell him, listen, I'm going to win this campaign. She gives him all of her details, all of her spiel, LBJ. And then what happened, LBJ? She literally sees Hollis Doyle there running for president. Vote for me.
So everything, and it was crazy. He's like, I'm sorry, I was trying to click back in. You see, I don't have my glasses on.
I know. I just put them on.
So it's like less than 24 hours later. I'm announcing my candidacy for president, and I'm here in this rally in this good old gymnasium of this formerly country, now urban school with all these little children around me that need my help. We need to invest in education, and I've got my money to invest in America. And I want to make America invest in their future. That's why I'm here at my elementary school. Shout out to Mellie Grant for giving him the idea for that. Shout out to Mellie Grant's campaign slogan and all the posters that the people are holding on to at the campaign rally. Shout out to all of the tenets and talking points that Mellie gave him.
That would have been so good.
And poor Mellie turned into stunned Mellie as she stood there and watched Hollis Doyle stand there and take her campaign platform. And she's like, what? Like, she's just like reading it the whole time.
Yes. LBJ, she's sitting there shocked and amazed. All I'm thinking the whole time is, you know what? You know who's going to have to come in and swoop in like a hero? You know who it is. It's Olivia. Olivia's going to have to come up with a whole new way of doing everything. And remember, Mellie had already asked Olivia to officially be the manager. Olivia said, no, I can't do that. It's too much drama. And it's LBJ. Lo and behold, the Mellie has been sabotaged. You know what she needs, LBJ? She needs a hero.
She needs a hero. But she needs a hero to come in and stand in partnership with her, not to push her behind her fix it. She needs a hero to stand in partnership with her. Right. To me, that's what she needs.
That's right. And we all know. Now I'm going to make LBJ. I don't make predictions as often as you do.
Wait, we have to prepare for this one. Janiyah, go for it.
I am going to predict right now that Olivia is going to actually be the campaign manager out in the front for Mellie. That's my prediction.
Janiyah, that's good. I agree. I can foresee that coming. If I tap into my days of Pee-wee's Playhouse, mecca licka high, mecca honey ho. Mecca licka high, mecca honey ho. Mecca licka high, mecca honey ho. Oh, I think I see it.
So good.
I agree. I touch and agree on the screen with you.
Let's see it.
Olivia, I think.
And LBJ, we have to, and people in the chat are talking about it. We have to talk about Susan Ross.
Oh, yes.
Because we saw something in Susan Ross tonight, LBJ, that we had not seen. Okay? And it was Hollis Doyle, who he's going to continue to be, someone who is stirring up emotion throughout his campaign. We saw Susan Ross in a whole new light tonight. She confronted Fitz. In fact, she yelled at him. She yelled at him so bad, he said, you don't yell at me in my office. And she said, well, where do I yell at you? Because we need to go over there because I have some things to say to you. And LBJ, she told him.
Wait, no, you have to punch that like Susan did. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you have to punch it like Susan. Susan, because Fitz pulled out that whole, you can't talk to me in that voice, like he did to Olivia the other week. And he told Susan, you can't talk to me like that in here. Susan said, well, take me to the place where I can talk to you like this. Like she said to get Lizzie Bear generous, go Lizzie Bear. I need to talk to him, and he gonna take me to the place where I can talk to him. She said, take me to the king. Take me to the king. That's what she said.
And Yolanda Baker in the chat said, can we talk about Susan Ross? But tonight we began to see that other side of Susan Ross.
We called it.
Around, I swear Fitz was turned on by it. And he was.
He was. I agree.
He loves to be told off. LBJ, it's his favorite thing.
He saw another side of her that he's never seen before. But I will quote this and almost put money on it. We called it here in the Scandal recap that we would begin to see the other side of Susan Ross as this season began. I don't know if I said that or if one of the other viewers said that, but we said that live. You said that? Okay, so you said it. So you quoted it. You made your prediction. Mecca Lecca High, Mecca Honey Ho.
I think we all touched and agreed on that one.
We did. Oh, yeah, there it is again. There it is again.
I think everybody in the chat, we all agreed on it because we started to realize that there's a thin line between love and hate. There's a thin line between crazy and sane. And we're watching Susan be played like a fool over and over and over again. And we knew that there was something brewing under there that was going to come out as her truth. And we started to see it tonight. So that was really good. It was interesting to watch Susan say, and LBG, did you catch her quote? The last thing we heard her say was, Fitz, I respect you when we're in the walls of the White House. She said, but when we're outside, this is the Susan Ross show.
That was boss. That was boss.
The mic, everybody.
So I put that in my notes that was something that we should remember, because to me, that was the ultimate foreshadowing. And I was going to put that in my takeaway, in my predictions, that Susan Ross is about to unleash the dragon, as Cisco said back in the day, or unleash the beast, as the as the adage was before Cisco from Drew Hill came out. She's about to unleash something. I don't know what something is, but it is something that Susan Ross is about to unleash. Remember, she's a conservative, and these conservatives can go crazy. We've seen that Susan Ross, and also remember, there's something inside of Susan Ross that makes David Rosen's liver quiver. Remember, David Rosen sat on the bench and talked to Abby Red tonight. He said, "I'm in love with. I'm dealing with two women. One makes me feel good on the inside, and the other one, she's like, wait, I can't talk anymore." He never revealed who made him feel the best on the inside. If you ask me, it's Susan Ross. She's putting in that good work, and she's keeping that David Rosen satisfied. And Elizabeth DeGeneres cannot do that. Susan Ross, she's that woman. She is that something.
LBJ, I'm so happy you pointed that out. Until you just said it, we don't know who he was talking about when he said one of the women that he's sleeping with.
Yeah, exactly.
He's doing it for him. Who is it, LBJ?
It's Susan Ross.
Your vote is Susan Ross?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to say, sexually speaking, we've seen Lizzie Bear DeGeneres really give that man a run for his money.
That's true. We have, but we've also seen him have full conversations with Susan Ross and Lizzie Bear DeGeneres in the bed. But Susan Ross, pardon?
I said very intimate conversations.
Yeah, very intimate conversations. And Susan, we don't know what took place. It's a late point of attack for us when we're watching this show. Sometimes we come into the scene after it's already went down, so we don't know what's going on. Candace Brown brings up a great point talking about selfishness earlier, and she says selfishness was the theme of tonight's episode and was depicted in each storyline. Abby and Cyrus, Olivia and OPA, Huck wanting to play hero for his family, Ross, Mellie, and Hollis Doyle. But last but not least, Janiyah, Jake and Vanessa.
Oh, LB. Yeah. Thank you, Candace. It was selfishness. And it's so crazy that the theme of the show was selfishness, but the name of the episode was I See You.
Yes.
Yourself? That's the question. I just found my takeaway. Do you see yourself?
Look. I'm sorry. Look, I'm talking to the man in the mirror. I see you. I'm talking to you, Larry. You. I'm talking to the man. Oh, this is the camera. I'm sorry. That's not the mirror.
We all were so happy just to be a part of that moment with you, LBJ.
But I see you. I see you. And I see you. I see you. I see you. And I see you.
But you know what? I have to just say right now, you sitting there with that beard talking to the camera, it made me think of Huck. We have to talk about Huck for a second. Okay?
Yes.
LBJ, can you please recap the Huck storyline for tonight? Because I am hoping, and I have to make a request, I am hoping that somewhere during the course of this, we get an actual Larry Brown Jr. Huck impression.
Oh, God.
We need you.
Oh, gosh.
We need you to really recap this storyline, LBJ.
Okay, so spoke of this storyline earlier in the recap, and I spoke about Huck seeking to get a resolution for this alleged six toes that he thought was dating his ex-wife and could be the potential new baby's daddy adjacent. And Huck is watching with Marcus at OPA, the soccer game, on some kind of closed circuit device, some kind of drone flying around the soccer field. The boy is doing the whip and the nay-nay all in the soccer field while he's playing the game and having a good time on the .com and soccer.com, having a good time. And he says, then he's like, oh, and Marcus and Huck are injured. They're watching the screen like, go, Javi, go. Oh, score, go. He's like, oh, when he wins and he's going in and going up. Meanwhile, homeboy comes in and he grabs the wife and Huck's ex-wife and he's like, oh, good. They're hugging all tight and squeezing. He's like, mwah. He kisses her. He's walking around the field on his shoulder, walking around, and Huck is looking like, and Marcus says, what's wrong? What's going on? Oh, nothing. It's nothing. And Marcus is like, side eye. This is weird. This is awkward. Then fast forward to Huck, and Huck is in a diner, and Charlie walks up. B613 Charlie from Quinn, Robin, Lindsay Charlie, and he's like, you see this picture right here? This picture. You know who that is? You remember him? Charlie's like, oh yeah, that's Six Toes. Didn't we try to take him out? We didn't try to take Six Toes out? He's like, yeah, remember his name was Six Toes. You know what he would do. That's why we called him Six Toes. You need to go and get him. Cut to 3 scenes later.
LBJ, before you cut, I have to do one little quick correction.
Uh-oh, who's there?
It's fact checker Jane here.
Oh, here's the fact checker Francis. Hi, fact checker Francis.
So you have to remember, Charlie did not actually recognize this guy. That's an important point.
Oh, yes, you're right. He mentioned Six Toes, yeah.
Charlie, like, hey, this man that we, almost killed years ago is trying to take my family. He's out to get me, and he's trying to get me by taking out my family. And Charlie looks at the photo and says to Huck, I don't recognize this guy. And they start to just play a guessing game, and they start assigning possibilities to this gentleman.
That's an important fact.
Besides that, the only one it could possibly be was old Six Toes. Somebody that had 10 toes when they met him, but had 6 when he got away. That actually is an important fact. And let me tell you what happened in that moment. That's when my barber texted me and said, oh, I need to bump you tomorrow morning and get you situated. So I began texting my barber while that whole scene was going on. So please forgive my incorrectness. That's what I'm here for, LBJ.
But all I do remember is that next thing you know, Huck is like this, driving the car down the street with these glasses on, driving. He's driving. And he pulls up and he sees the alleged Six Toes on the side of the road. And he's like, hey, what's up? You need a ride? You okay? You need some gas? Hey, what you doing? He's like, yeah, bro, I need to get to a gas station. I think something's wrong with my car. Oh, well, I mean, I'm headed out to a gas station. You want to hop in? I'll take you down. And he's like, oh, thanks so much. Alleged Six Toes gets into the vehicle, and Huck starts driving. He's like, yeah, so what's your name? He's like, my name is Sean. Oh, okay. Well, my name's Harold. Oh, yeah? Really? Good.
And Sean's having...
Yeah, and Sean's like, do you have any kids? I used to. What happened to him? Well, I don't know. Then 5 seconds later, hey, Harold, there's the gas station like right there, said Sean. We're not going to the gas station. Sean's like, what's going on? What's wrong? What's wrong? Your name isn't Sean, and my name's not Harold. And that's what happened. And then all of a sudden, Sean looked down. He saw that the latch was gone for his lock to his door. There was no lever to get out. Sean's like, WTF, what's going on with my life today? And Huck had a moment.
So good. That was so good, LBJ.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, LBJ, we all just felt like we were right back in that moment. That was so well done. So well done. LBJ, you pointed out something very important. We watched Sean start to panic. That was when we all knew, everybody knew that he was not a bad guy.
A mistake, yes.
He was not a B613. Number one, a B613 would have recognized Huck behind his Superman glasses. Superman glasses aren't enough camouflage if you're a B613. So Harold wouldn't have Sean wouldn't have gotten in that car, number one. Number two, we saw the very real panic in Sean's eyes. If Sean had been a B613 or anyone who would have been a target of a B613, he wouldn't have panicked. We would have saw his guy come out, right? Mm-hmm. We would have, watched him start to get into character and get ready to fight. Okay? He didn't do that. At that point, we all knew something was wrong. And it turned out that it was. It turned out that it was not old Six Toes, okay? That's the reason Charlie didn't recognize him. Sean really is just a guy who has fallen in love with Huck's wife and has now become a parent figure to Huck's child. So Olivia and Quinn and Marcus, they go and they find Huck. Fortunately, Huck made the realization before he actually killed this guy, and all he's going to do is do a Men in Black, sensor machine on him, so he won't remember the last hour of his life. All is well. But what the most important point of all of this is that Huck, in realizing that this was not someone trying to victimize Huck and his family, he's realized that his family has just moved on. They've let him go. Yeah. And he says to everyone, he says, you know what? It's time for me to do the same thing. And we watched him tonight, LBJ, turn off that live feed that he has been using to watch his family. Huck, we saw him tonight, LBJ, say goodbye. So the question becomes, what happens to Huck when he doesn't have that grounding anymore? What happens to Huck? Does his guy come out now? What do we do? Where does he go for his happy place?
I think Huck's going to have an opportunity to sow some kind of royal oak somewhere. And I think that Huck will also have an opportunity to interface with his son one more time. And hopefully his son will recognize that is his father. And his son will say, Dad, I see you. And they will have that I see you moment later in life, hopefully before the season's over, or maybe at the top of the next season. We know they're coming back for another season because it's been renewed. They announced it last week or week before last. But let me tell you, you talked about that live feed. Someone this episode who had a live feed come into their life was that Olivia Pope again, as related to that Jake Ballard stuff that's been going on. And Jake had to tell her, look, you're not above me. Like, I'm a very calculated person. I'm your dad's apprentice, okay? Your dad taught me I am his number one, and your dad doesn't really have a number one. But I'm his number one over you, Olivia Pope, and I know where anything and everything could go in my home. Jake said to Olivia without saying it, he looked in the camera as he was making out with Vanessa. He said, I see you, looking at that camera right there at Olivia while she was at home watching all these different camera angles of his apartment. Janaya, what were your thoughts as we saw the Vanessa, Jake, Olivia triangle play out literally from the top of the episode to the bottom? Remember, we opened the episode tonight where we left off last week. They were at a restaurant celebrating all that happened, and we see this cracked cell phone that Vanessa presents to Olivia, like, this little klutz bumped into me and dropped my phone. And Olivia realized same thing happened to her. Then she's like, oh, he did this with me, he did that. Olivia's running she's running the track at the end of the episode. He did the same with me, Olivia's thinking to herself. So we see all these little nuances of a relationship coming up between Jake and Vanessa that Olivia is starting to piece together. But Jake tries to act as if nothing's going on. But what I want to point out also before you do your comment, I'm pulling up this note here. Last week someone left a comment on the video and on the recap video, and they spoke directly about Jake's new love interest. And this is a very important point that I told them I would bring up tonight. And the commenter is the name D Brown. Hey D Brown, are we cousins? Are we related? Hey D Brown, are we related? Are we cousins? Do I know you? I have a few cousins that I remember with the name, with the first initial D, but I don't know. Anyway, it says D Brown, the name, the commenter D Brown, the name Vanessa Moss is a combination of the names of the two women Jake killed along with Cyrus's husband, James, in season 3. Vanessa Chandler and Shelby Moss.
What?
Wait, look. LBJ drops phone. It's
Please
too hot. It's too hot to handle. Too hot to handle.
D Brown, and let me just make a tangent statement, right? A tangential statement. LBJ, this is why we have to watch this show as a group.
Yes.
This is why the recap exists. How many of us would have missed that? Thank you, D Brown. We needed to know that. This is bananas. So we're watching Olivia tonight. We're watching her. She's in full stalker mode, okay? She's hanging out with Jake and her father and Vanessa while she has Quinn and Charlie back at the house bugging his house. She then has the live feed on her television. And was I the only one that remembered that Jake used to watch Olivia in that exact same way? Did you remember that, LBJ?
I remember, yes. I thought the exact same thing.
Watching her in his home, obsessively watching a live feed of her life. At LBJ, the tables turned. She was there for days watching him interact, following him with these cameras. And the thing is, once again, she thought she had the upper hand, but didn't. He knew she was there. He knew she was there. And so finally, he's having his fun, throwing Vanessa in front of Olivia, and he's loving it, okay, giving her an important lesson, okay, an important takeaway. And finally, they have the confrontation, LBJ, where Olivia and Jake are face to face once again. And Olivia once again is saying to him, "You're up to something. I see that you are using Vanessa in the same way that you use me." She said, "All of your girlfriends are marks. You're not real. Nothing about you is real. You know, you're not walking in this life as a real person. You're always on a mission for my father." And he said, "Tell yourself," I'm paraphrasing, "tell yourself whatever you want, girlfriend. You've got daddy issues in the serious sense."
That's key. That's key.
That's key.
And let me tell you why that's key. That's key because the both of them have identified exactly who each other are as relates to their father. I mean, to their father, her biological, his symbolic father. He has exposed them to both of these character flaws in each of them, and they are both playing to it and trying to expose it. But it will be a clashing of the titans when that all comes to a head. I promise you.
Mm-hmm. And LBJ, we kind of ended the episode with Olivia even just realizing how important it is that she not let this go. You know, we saw her in a moment, you know, meeting Jake and his fiance for dinner, and she's saying all these great things to him. "You know what, Jake, let's call a truce. I realized I was wrong when I wouldn't choose and I wanted to have my cake and eat it too. Literally having Fitz cake and eating you Jake cake as well." She said, "I wanted to have it all and I didn't choose it, and I apologize." Okay. We didn't know if she was serious, and we won't know until next episode whether any of that stuff about truth was real. But we do know that right after she said it, right after she made that statement about, "You know what, let's let it go. You know, I'm tired of all the drama. No more drama." Right after that, LBJ, she realizes the extent to which Vanessa is being played. How does she realize it? It's the moment that you already nodded to. We realize that the meet cute that had her first meet Jake, he literally he did the exact same play on Vanessa. Yep. He doesn't even have 5 moves. He used the exact same move to get Vanessa that he used to get Olivia. And she can't even bear dinner. She walks out, and before she's even out the restaurant, she's on the phone. "Quinn, it's time to really get moving. We're going to dig in a little deeper on Jake." Bam. Episode ends.
Episode ends. You know, I'm reminded of a song, Maya, that could be best fit for the scene between Olivia and Jake today. And it's a song that Whitney Houston so eloquently presents to us. She says, "Didn't we almost have it all? When love was all we had worth giving." He said to that woman tonight, "She loves me. Olivia, this woman loves me. You didn't love me, Olivia. You just wanted me from a spirit fingers. She loves me, Olivia." This spirit fingers, yep. Spirit fingers, all of them. There's all those spirit fingers. Spirit fingers everywhere. Then we almost have it all. I don't know.
Stephanie Beard in the chat. Hey, girlfriend.
Hey, that's your friend, right? That's your friend Stephanie Beard, right?
I'm wondering why it took Olivia so long to realize that Jake met new chick the same way he met her. It's a good question. All this time when Olivia has been obsessively watching this relationship, what has she really been doing? Has she been doing it as a spy, or has she been doing it as an ex-girlfriend? That's my guess, Stephanie. My guess is that all of this, Olivia's been lying to herself, acting like she was spying on Jake for the greater good. She was hating. She was hating.
Oh, yeah, she was hating hard. I mean, she was hating so much, it threw her off her game. It was a distraction. And Rowan Pope hates distractions. Yeah. To me, he's hazing his daughter. So she can cross the burning sands into popehood. She ain't a real pope yet. She hasn't earned her 4 letters, her POPE. She hasn't earned her 4 letters yet. She got to earn those letters.
Right, exactly. LBJ, I have to just say this plot that Jake is working on with Eli Rowan Pope. I can't even begin to guess about what it might be. I can't even begin.
Let me tell you. So I feel the exact same way, but I also concur with Idon Matrix in the chat. Idon Matrix asks, "Do you think Rowan Pope?" And I want to segue into takeaways and predictions. Do you think Rowan will have Cyrus killed? I think this is a great place to start. Will Rowan have Cyrus killed? Cyrus knows a lot, but I don't think that Cyrus is worth taking out because Cyrus isn't as much of a threat as he is, a high level threat as he is, as Maya is, right? Cyrus does his stuff right here at this level. Yeah. Right down here is where all the other people coast. Quinn is right here, Cyrus is right here, Maya is right here, halfway off the screen. So I feel I don't know Idon Matrix if Rowan is worth if Cyrus is worth Rowan taking out, but I do think that Rowan has his best interest in keeping Cyrus on the radar, and keeping a close watch on him as if he's not already doing that. Any predictions for you tonight? I have one that I already mentioned, but do you have one tonight?
Well, LBJ, you know what? I don't have a new prediction. I'll just reiterate a prior prediction, which is just that, Susan Ross, there's a new chick in town. It's Jack City, and guess what? It's called the Susan Ross Show. Okay? So we're about to see that. Also, all this time, I have been thinking that Gabby Abby Red was going to make her way back to OPA and Associates. It's so strange that she now has this new position in the White House. It'll be very interesting to watch how she does there. At this point, though, a prediction for her, I don't see this being sustainable for her. I don't see her being able to stay on the dark side. That's my prediction about Gabby Abby Red.
That's a really great prediction. I think that we will also see, I'm going to stick with this, we will also see Marcus do deeper and better and greater in OPA. He might dabble in that dark side this season. We don't know what's going to tickle his fancy. Remember, he does have an edge. He was sleeping with the mayor's wife, and who ended up being a murder victim.
Stephanie Beard in the chat said, "Notice how Marcus isn't freaked out by the fact that they have killed. He just wants to know. Kind of makes you wonder."
Let me tell you, it's almost and let me say this, I experimented with something in school that is now in college that is now legal. And it's you ask that question, you ask that question, you say, what does it feel like? Do you feel like you're floating? Do you feel like you're in a balloon, in a hot air balloon? What does that feel like? And that's the kind of, that's the type of questioning he was doing tonight on the episode. He didn't ask what it felt like, but he's like, did you kill somebody too? We don't know. He might have known someone that got killed or killed someone back in his days in those mean streets of DC growing up. We don't know.
Thank you for joining Stephanie Beard. She just always gives us such a good nugget.
Stephanie Beard, where have you been? You have to give a gladiator report. Welcome to the hangout. We love you. We thank you for joining us. Where have you been all these seasons? We're so glad you're here now, though.
Yes. LBJ, are we doing the round robin? Let's do it.
It's time for round robin. Hop into it.
Woo! Okay, so I have to just call out right now Idon Matrix, and I'm going to call her out in a spirit of forgiveness. Okay?
I was hoping you were going to say something about that.
I'm going to confront it. Okay? Because, Idon Matrix, we've been through a lot together. We've had our ups, we've had our downs. And tonight, you saying, Janiyah, I have appointed myself Quinn Disc Monitor, so they just that is so good. That is so good to me right now. Okay, Idon Matrix, you made your point. All right, you've drawn the line in the sand. Okay, I want us to get through this together. Okay, I want us to be able to continue to have a relationship and a friendship that can overcome this. So I just want to let you know I'm committed. I'm committed to working through this.
Yolanda Baker, that is so good. Yolanda Baker brings up a great point. She says, I think Gabby is green, but Shonda is setting her up big. I think Gabby Abby is going scary. I think she is too. Did you see the look in her eyes? Did you see how she did that turn? And she says to Fitz, she's like, yes, sir, I'll handle it. She goes, it was so good. It was so good.
You just made her look like a Marvel character, but that's exactly what happened.
I did? Oh, shoot. I should probably go audition then. That's a lot of money in that franchise.
That was excellent. LBJ, I came, I saw, I left in the chat. I had a really good point here. Good evening. Jake is playing his new girl the way he did Olivia. It's such an important point. Because at the end of the day, we have tried to make the Olivia Jake thing something epic and romantic. But was it all a game? It was all a game.
It was all a game. I used to... He could be like, it was all a game. I used to watch Surveillance TV.
Oh, thank you for that.
Oh, man. Oh, Kimmy J. Like some other people on Twitter tonight, Kimmy J says, I just wasn't feeling this episode.
Yeah.
Something is off. A lot of people have felt like the beats have been off with this show, Kimmy J. I would love to know what you felt was off if you could put your finger on it. And I'm glad you're back with us. I see in the chat that you said that you weren't feeling well, so thank you for being back.
I'm happy you're better, girlfriend. I'm so happy you're better. And you know what? I have to say, in terms of the energy, this was the first time I actually looked to see who directed the episode. I was like, this felt different. I felt it too.
Idon Matrix says in the Q&A, rewatch A Few Good Women, in which Jake describes in detail exactly how he tracked and caught Olivia. Remember, that was the episode that they actually flashed back to Janiyah tonight. If you go back and watch the episode called A Few Good Women, we actually recap that in our recap as well. We can look up the title if you'd like and watch it afterwards.
Yes. And LBJ, I think we can, wrap up the round robin with my favorite part of the whole chat box tonight, and that's from Idon Matrix, where she's letting us know that she tuned in even though she didn't get a chance to watch the show. She said, "Hey, my favorite review team didn't get to watch the live feed, so I'm just here to enjoy your fabulous commentary and everyone's comments." That means so
much. Thank you so much.
I have to tell you, LBJ, on a closing thought, I look forward to this every single week so much. It is so much fun. I just feel like we have made real friendships in this chat, and I just really appreciate that comment.
I feel the exact same way. As you all know, we don't do this for any kind of payment. We do this for the love of the show, and we do it for the love of interacting and communicating with you. So thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Scandalous Scandal Recap. We love you for watching. We will see you next week when it all goes down on Scandal. Tell a friend about the Scandal Recap. Use the hashtag Scandal Recap. We will see you next week. Bye-bye, everybody.